Hey everyone. So basically today, we're wondering if I talk about slight risk or risk, just three slight risks. There's two slight risks actually. Four marginal risk, but the two are so there's a thunderstorm margin just expired. I think we're not gonna talk about fire. No, we're not gonna talk about anything else. I know you probably don't want me around. I wondering why it's doing. Comments about anything yet though, but I'll go with now before anything else happens. But basically, I'm gonna have you go under. Understand what the categories mean. This risk right here, from general thunderstorm risk to a high risk. And that's so much things like some effect. There's still some things around here. Right here. So understand real thunderstorm risk categories. Because I know you guys don't know what those mean. When we talk about, I will tell you about it. We're not gonna start with the risks yet now. We're gonna start with the risks by this one. Do it. Just start with this one right here with this kind of sorry, it's not too much there. I shouldn't be doing it to 500. Okay, now I'm not gonna put back as actually. Off there we go. So, 5 for scale. A margin means okay. A marginal risk means isolated severe thunderstorms are possible. And because that means that it's possible. Possible some situations are isolated. Scattered strong means you have strong. Thunderstorms you have strong thunderstorms too. But in the marginals you have strong thunderstorms. The line is strong. Anyway, we're around 40 mile per hour in the thunderstorm. You got because after 50, 55, you have 60 mile per hour. It's isolated severe thunderstorm. Every 60. Okay. If the marginals is 50. It's a 258 mile per hour, that's 50 miles per hour higher. 60, it's a isolated to a thunderstorm. I mean, a little higher too, because 65, I don't think it would be 60. It's 60. 60, but it's basically the stuff is limited in duration and or covered and or intensity. Basically, the marginals are not intense. Yeah, you only intense here. You only have intense. And the tornado but the very low. You may have a tornado. It'll be isolated, weak. It'll be isolated tornado. Won't be strong. It'll be weak isolated tornado. Whereas that's in the margin, just in the margin. So let's go up to a slight risk. Now it used to be. You see, I'm a general grade. The general margin slight. We see like almost every. I take a slight almost every single day. I just take every single day in summer. You see every single day. Almost every single day, and slight risk is also almost every single day, but slight risk. So number 2, slight risk. Basically, you see the label of the whole GT, but it's a slight riskiness. And this is slightly means scattered. It means scattered severe storms possible. So basically, a slight risk. Nothing's really. The storm. The storm seems to maybe make a one, make one or two, maybe like a one storm could be intense. There's nothing really bad, but these storms are not widespread. They're short-lived, and or not widespread. But you have isolated intense storms possible. So yeah, you can have intense storms, but they're isolated intense. So they ain't really bad. So you can have isolated bad storms, but not really bad. They usually don't. Even yes, you can in the slightest too. Also, you have one or two tornadoes. You can have one or two tornadoes touch down. Most only one. You can one or two tornadoes in a slight risk. Doing a couple tornadoes. That's a slight risk. Or nothing really bad. Or nothing really bad. Let's go up to the enhanced risk. Enhanced risk. As you see, here's an ANH here, but enable labor. Enhanced means numerous severe storms possible. These enhancers, now these enhancers are now enhanced risk. Now we're talking about more bad storms. There will be several reports of wind damage because wind damage. They have strong winds of like up to 80 miles per hour. They have numerous severe weather, and of course they do a lot of damage. Like you see a car here. Like, it probably is just a picture. It doesn't really cause any damage, but that's not. His enhancers doesn't mean they can do that. But Slayer's got a 2-inch hail. I can do a lot of damage. Street could fall down, something like that. But in the enhancers, you can have trees. You know, a whole bunch of trees falling down. Most you have trees falling down, but like 1, 2 of them. Like you have some trees falling down, like 3 or 4 of them. Here's you have a down. I think here's you have a downburst of tree or downburst come down. But yeah, but basically, but they're more persistent and or widespread. A few intense. So there'll be a few intense severe thunderstorms. And of course there'll be a few tornadoes, and it's usually what happens in the enhanced risk. And yes, the enhanced risk can be strong in the enhanced risk. It's possible to have strong tornadoes in the enhanced risk. But usually it's not really strong yet, but yes, it can be strong. It's like if the EF2 tornadoes are strong. They ain't very strong, but isolated strong tornadoes, but yeah. But they're not to take their roof gone. Yeah. But that's why we don't want to be under enhanced risk. So we don't want to be under enhanced, but as soon as you go to moderate and high, but as soon as you go to the moderate and high risk, these two are like the worst one. These two are moderate and high risk. There's moderate risk and high risk are just about the same. This is about the same intensity, but but high is worse. But let's go to moderate first, not go high first, so don't confuse you. But number 4 is a moderate risk, and you see it labeled here MDT. It says widespread severe storms likely. Yeah, because as the risks go higher, the worse storms are, ages the worse, so the more chance it's going to be too. I mean, by moderate, you have lost. You got damage reports of like a whole fort could be taken down. I don't know, a whole bunch of forts and everything. And these storms, a whole bunch of homes. They could have a outbreak of severe. They also have a positive outbreak of tornadoes in a moderate risk. Well, you got there'll be so many reports of damaging winds, and there's so much hail too. But sorry, not you. But no, I'm talking the cat. Yeah, but it can be extremely bad. There are a whole bunch of intense. There's also long-lived, widespread, and intense. There's basically take a lot of space up, and they're pretty bad, pretty strong, and they're strong. And these tornadoes are strong actually. They're long-lived, strong tornadoes. And here's the strong tornadoes, they ain't very long. These are short-lived, strong tornadoes. So they're slight in the moderate. Slight. They're not stronger, but they're just short-lived tornadoes, marginal short-lived tornadoes. But as soon as a short-lived tornado, I mean, you get long, you can have long-lived tornadoes, like mile track to long, mile track tornado, they actually get the long track tornado. The hands you got a mile track, but it's possible. Cause you can actually, I seen one time, like down earlier in February, like Tennessee had like a tornado that had a mile track tornado with enhanced risk, but Mars you have like a long track tornadoes out. You got several strong tornadoes, all of them are long track and long lived and do a lot of damage like strong EF3s. It can be up to ES3s and strong. But that's it's in modern high. That's the worst two words. You're not under any of these risks right here. Without any risk, but you want to be under the modern enhanced. Definitely not the moderate or the high. Enhanced is my high is very scary. Enhanced can make you nervous, but it can be scary. I mean, you know, it can actually be scary. Enhanced can actually be scary because you can have mild track tornadoes. Moderate and have long track tornadoes. So it's just scary. And I mean, also the winds up to 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts enough to actually destroy a mobile home with flying debris. So it's enhanced. I mean, enhanced are heavily damaged mobile home, but enough flying debris. Yes, and the hail's like so much hail and that it'll throw up to a high risk. As basically these can be kept the same, but the higher can be like usually high risk, but high risk is usually worse. High risk can have a tornado outbreak actually. But here's what it actually means. High risk high risk means widespread severe storms likely. High risk means widespread severe storms expected. And when they expected, that means it's gonna happen. So at high risk, you got high risk. So if you guys know if I haven't got forecasted, yeah, I've seen it. I wish I actually have forecast a high risk one time. The high, so if you have a video saying it's a high risk area, you expect pretty intense severe weather. Long-lived, very widespread, and particularly intense. And these storms actually take up a lot of space. They can be just as widespread, and the moderate can this sort of moderate can be just as widespread as the high risk. Which is why yes, one time last year the moderate like in Nebraska, they had actually a tornado outbreak, and yeah, they're likely to expect it in the high risk. Possibly, also has risk of outbreak and high risk, but yes, there's up to EF4s, EF5 tornadoes. So those are long tracks and the high risk. And they're violent in a high long and violent. So you can also get long and violent tornadoes and moderate enhanced. They're not very violent, but you know how big tornadoes, like you see the tornado right here, the pictures here, but pictures if you just show pictures doesn't mean it's gonna do that, but that's how bad it is. But yeah, that's basically my the hires and the modern. These are not like under any of these any risks above. You won't have a risk above slight. If you have a risk above slight, you may start having bad storms. I mean, slight you got bad storms, but they're not very bad or isolated. But you go up to above slight, that's when it's enhanced, moderate, high. That's when you start with bad storms. Assuming that the enhanced risk isn't assuming that tornado risk isn't that high. I mean. That's the risk, but no tornadoes that wind risk ain't high either. The moderate and the high are definitely pretty much bad. But yeah, I don't want to go over it, but these risks, but high risk is very all like ultra rare. So it's how it ever gets issued. Like only gets issued like once or twice a year. And twice a year is like extremely rare. It gets higher once a year is ultra rare. I see the highest, but I saw like one time a year. This year I start 2 times a year this year. Moderate I see like once in a while I see a moderate risk. Not once in a while. It's only like 4 or 5 times I see a moderate risk. Enhanced I see like once in a while. Slight and moderate risk, and I feel like almost every single day. Just doing sorry guys. I see these risks almost every single day. But yeah. But you know we want to like I have a mosquito here trying to bug me. I don't think I killed it, but it was still here. Where's that's over there, bro. Yeah. I go over it. I mean, that's like most. I can't post something in the description, but I can. I'm gonna send you a photo of it or something like that. But it's a long video. Yeah, I mean, elevator. I also rain. I'm not going to rain today because I don't want to be too long. Go another time. Go next time or something like that. I just join reports like there's always. What's it 20? Actually 24. Yeah, it's 24. Why is that 20 next game? Oh, yeah, 20 all of a sudden. They had them yesterday and I didn't watch it. I don't know why. Yeah. Bye everyone.